Christina and Mother Cow. I'm coming to you from a quite rainy west coast of Sweden. Just took the kids to school, and now I'm going to do some crochet and some coffee. Where do I start today? Perhaps I should start with my dots. I have this little project bag. I think it's sweet, cute, and my needle hook container, hooks, scissors, and needles. And now this is my nebulosa yarn, what I call it. And now I got some nebulosa spots, little dots, squares. This is my newborn star. That's one of them. They are 25 centimeters by 25. So I think I'm only making 3 by 4 this time, and then a bigger border around. I think that's going to be quite good. And here I got another star, or yeah, I think I can call it a star. And then we got, I don't know if nebulosas have planets, but mine has. Here is my planets, and it's going to be a little bit more on the square there. And it's a big star, or a planet, or what we should call it. And I really do like the theme of this. Here's another little star. And did you know the biggest nebulosa that we can see from Earth is, I don't know if it's called Orion Nebulosa, but it's in the Orion's belt. It's hanging down from the Orion's belt. And it's huge. If the distance from the sun to Earth is 2 centimeters, then the Orion Nebulosa is 25 kilometers wide. It's huge, really huge. And here is just an empty space in the blanket, so it's just the gases and the beautiful colors. I think it's going to be lovely. I have some more here, but I can't show you everything. That's what I'm doing now. And then I'm going to do some squares around the dotty cloth blanket, the one in red, white, and gray. I have done some, so you can see how it looks. Just a second. Just looking at my big. There, some. Oh, sorry. Here is one with just whites. And one with, so that's the one with red and white. I love it with a gray around. I think it's very nice. That one. And these are maybe 23. I think they could be 25. They could be. I don't really know. And that's the last one that I have ready. In this blanket it's gonna be 4 by 5 and a border with all the colors. I don't know how I'm going to make it yet, but I have time to plan that later on. And I had to think about something new I want to do. So I decided to use this glittery gray and white colors to do another crossroad shawl, the one I did on my own pattern. I really love it. It's a very easy pattern, and perhaps this time I can write down what I did so someone else can do it too. So that's what I'm planning for the weekend, and the squares, of course. But I have to do something when I get bored of squares. So that's a little bit of what I'm doing. And then I got the fancy pansy blanket. Haven't done very much on it, just a little bit. So I can show you next time. Now I'm doing the Vlogtober, then I can show you any day in the week. If I want to. Sorry, my voice haven't picked it up yet. Yeah, so I thought I could tell you a little about the books I had for my book talk yesterday. I think I can do some cooking at the same time that I'm talking. I really love this thing. Here is the end, and it's a little woolly mark on the end. I love it. It's so easy to find the ends. There I go. But on my way to work yesterday, it's been there a long time, but yesterday I filmed it. It's a spot where I just have to do some crochet sometime. So I'll let you see it right about now. Isn't that cute? There's light in the lamp. I don't know it's called lamp, isn't it? And it's also heating in the chair, so you can sit there during winter time. I just have to sit there and crochet. People will think I'm crazy, but it won't matter. I am crazy. So I haven't got trouble with that. So yesterday I talked about my books. I talked about 2 books. The first one is the author O'Flanagan, Sheila O'Flanagan. She is, I think she's Irish. Could be English too, but I think she's Irish. The book she wrote this time is called The Missing Wife. It's about Imogen, who has a very controlling husband, and for years she has planned to get away from him. So on a business trip to France, to Paris, she, instead of hopping on the plane back to England or Britain, she takes the bus and goes to a little town on the border to Spain, in France, by the sea, and starts a whole new life. I haven't read it all to the end, but I think it's a quite sweet book. So I'm really, really, really loving that book. And then I read the most exciting, it was nerve-wracking at times, best book in a long time. It was Karen Dion. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I say Karen Dion. She wrote a book. It's called The Marsh King's Daughter. Oh, I think it's so good. You just have to read it. It's like a thriller, perhaps. It's her dad is an Indian living up north in the United States, and when her mother is 15, he kidnaps her and places her in a cabin in the marshland, and then they get the daughter Helena, and she hasn't met anyone except her father and mother, and they just live in the marshlands. And then just an ordinary day, the police comes and gets her, Helena, and her mother, and takes them away and puts the father in a high-risk prison. And then the story hops 15 years ahead, and she's a grown woman, married with 2 kids. And all of a sudden, the police comes knocking on her door, and it's about her father. Her father has escaped. He has killed 2 police officers and ran out in the woods. And they think he has the leads are that he's going in that direction, and she just knows that he's in that direction. And if anyone can find her father, it's Helena, she says, because she's also a good hunter and tracker and can live out in the wild. I get goosebumps just by thinking of it. So you just have to read it. I'm not telling you anymore, so you have to read it by yourself. But it's a very, very, very readable book. So that one you should think about reading. I've done a little bit. Start on the show. It starts with an asymmetric shape. I'm doing increases only on this side and only on the way down, not on the way up. So I'm doing double crochets and doing 3 double crochets in the last stitch, and then I do that until I'm happy with the size, and then I do something else. I just had to show you while I was watching the video and taking away some of the bad stuff and so on. I did some crochet at the time that I was doing it, so it is a little bit bigger, and now you can more see the shape that the shawl has. So I'm gonna let you show it to you now. It's a little bit curly. So this is it's hard to talk with a hook in your mouth. So this is the top, and here is the increase side. I always put stitch markers just to know which side I'm doing the increases. And then I just on the top I just do 3 chains, and then I do double crochets in the spaces all the way to where I got the stitch markers, and then in the last I do 3 double crochets, and then I do 3 chains and turn, and I start in the first space, do a double crochet and double crochet all the way to the end. So there's just increase on the way down to the stitch markers. I think it's going to be very lovely. It's going to be a pretty shawl in these colors. So yes, I will do some more work on that one. And yeah, I know people think it looks strange when I'm crocheting, since I don't look at what I'm doing. But I think it's quite smart to try and to practice on not looking what you're doing, because you never know. I do my hooking while I'm putting the small children to bed in pitch black rooms. I can crochet in the car while we're driving at night, and I just crochet. It has something very much to do with my eye disease. I'm, as you know, legally blind, so if I try to look at the camera right now, I can't see it. I can't see anything on the table. So if I look down on what I'm crocheting, I still can't see it. So if I sometimes look down just because I don't know, just because everybody does it. I can't see anything at all in that. So if I should have my work so I can see it, my hair gets stuck in my project, even that I have quite short hair, because I have to sit like this to see the thread, and it's my nose is in the way, you can say. So that's why I have to learn how to look up on the ceiling and do some crocheting. My sister, she's also legally blind, and she's the knitter in the family. She knits like this, and I had this crazy idea of learning some knitting too, so I can do some sweaters and socks and so on. And she challenged me to try to sit and knit without looking, because you get quite sore shoulders and neck when you sit like this and try to see what you're doing. So she challenged me, like I said. It takes a very, very long time in the beginning, but I'm proud to say I can do my knitting without watching. And I'm getting the speed on it too. And since we are Swedish and Norwegian, we do the Norwegian purl. I can't see any other way to do it. And we do the continental knitting, so even if I'm just a starter, I'm quite fast, I think, if I can brag about myself. So that's why I can do a lot of crocheting during the night or the evening, because as I said, I do it when I'm putting children to bed. I'm doing it when I'm watching TV. I'm doing it all night. It's a couple of hours every night. So that's a little bit more about me. So I'm saying it again. Have a really nice Friday and take care. Bye bye.